Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Excuse the hair and the messy appearance and stuff. For today's video I'm going to be playing with these brushes. I bought these at Europris, which I believe is a Norwegian store where they have kind of cheap everything. I saw these and I know this whole oval type brushes has been really big on YouTube the last year and so, but the original ones I believe are ridiculously expensive, way out of my budget, and I saw these and I tested them out on my hand in the store and they felt really soft. I have never used this on my face before. I have never tried applying anything with it, and today I want to test it on a couple of different ways. I primed my skin with my Wet n Wild Coverall primer and I'm going to be trying to apply foundation. I have a couple of different concealers. I have a liquid highlighter, a cream blush, two different powders, one loose and one pressed. I wanted to go with the cream eyeshadow just because I'm not really that sure how it's going to work. As well as, thought of this was highlight, but I might also do the bronzer. Of course, everything falls out. There's 10 brushes in here, varying in size. There are 3 which are these sort of long, thin ones. This is the smaller one. We have the biggest size and this is the biggest. There's also 2 brushes which are sort of round head. This has got a more of a domed one. This is completely flat at the edge. And the remaining 5 are sort of circular brushes. You have this one which I think is adorable. It's a baby one and it's super soft. Then you have this which is the size up, which I think could work for cream contour. This is a little bit bigger. I'm sort of thinking this could maybe do blush or powder. And then these 2 this for foundation, and this too would probably also work for foundation for my face. Now, I've never used any type of circular oval brushes like this. Just gonna say the handle is a bit flexible on all of them, but I'm gonna be careful not to snap them. These are really the ones, these types, these flat ones I can't see myself using, and this one I can really only see myself using as like a spot concealing brush. So those are probably going to be the ones that I use the least, but I'm excited to try them out nonetheless. The foundation I'm going to be trying out today is the Rimmel Lasting Finish in the shade 100, and this is reasonably new to my collection, but I've been using it a lot and I've been loving it. So I think we're just going to start with this bigger brush. Here goes nothing. And just to sort of give you an idea, I don't like applying foundation with brushes just because I don't think that it looks that good. And I'm fairly certain this brush just soaked up everything. And I can't really pat it into my skin either because it's so dense it feels like slapping your face with a rock. I've almost used 2 pumps on just the cheek part of my face and you can see that it hasn't really done much. I'm getting light, patchy and matte coverage, so I'm a little bit curious how it manages to make my skin look this matte, because I have nothing on my face that is mattifying. You can definitely see on the brush where the product has sort of soaked up. I'm just going to try and rub it into my hand and see what happens. I think it worked better on my hand actually. This is my other hand for comparison, and definitely covered a little bit, not a lot. I feel like this, instead of blending it really into the skin, it sort of just drags it around. But we're gonna work with it anyway. I'm just gonna pump out more, but I'm gonna try placing it on my face on this side. Now, I put about 3 pumps on my hand and this is enough to cover my entire face and still have some left over. But I'm gonna see if it works better. I'm curious whether or not it actually needs to have a little bit of product in the bristles for it to work properly. Let's see how it works like that. If it can actually build up covered. I mean, it started with very little. And I'm going to have some people asking, yes, the foundation is darker than my neck. Naturally, that's not something the brush is doing. Like, I can drag the product around with this. There's even some coming off just dragging it down my hand like that. I feel like it worked a bit better now. I'm going to zoom you in for the forehead and the nose so you can properly see what's going on. I'm going to try and stay in focus, but you can see it starts off sort of okay buffing the product out, and I just feel like it, instead of buffing it into the skin, you see like it does there, it sort of just drags the product around. It's a bit patchy, to be honest. That's a bit disappointing because I can usually actually get full coverage with this foundation, and now I'm getting light medium. It's patchy. This brush is a no for me, at least with this foundation. I'm probably going to keep trying it out just because I'm curious. Then I'm going to grab, I have two concealers and I'm going to still keep you quite zoomed up, and I'm going to use one under each eye. This is the NYX HD in Porcelain and the Maybelline Fit Me in Fair. I'm going to put both on the back of my hand, and I'm going to use one of the smaller circular brushes, and I'm going to use the domed one for the Maybelline and the flat one for the NYX. Let's start with NYX and the flat brush. I'm just dipping it in on the back of my hand. I'm going to take that under the eye. I think this worked a bit better for keeping the coverage, but it's very small, so I can't really do bigger areas at a time. I sort of am very limited. Let's try the domed brush with the Maybelline concealer. I mean, they are fine for placing the product, but they don't really do that well when it comes to blending. Not really that happy with these ones. I've then tilted you down to show my chin. I'm going to continue with the Maybelline one. I'm going to see if, excuse me, if I can get more coverage around here. It gives me some coverage, which isn't too bad actually, but I have to be careful not to blend too much. So far I don't hate this tiny one, but I do think it definitely works better for placing product and not for blending. And here you can see the awful patchiness that is my neck. So I can, with confidence, say that so far it's a fail. I'm going to try this. This is the cream blush. This is from Topshop. I'm going to try this on the second to smallest round one. And I'm going to show you first. This is my hand. This is foundation. It is a very, very pigmented blush, but I'm going to just want to see how it works on my hand and if it's going to, well, I know I'm not going to put that much blush on, but that isn't too bad. There seems to be like a stripe in the centre there that isn't getting any product, but that's, no, actually that's a really nice blend, so we'll see how that looks on my face. Kind of not feeling, because I am a bit afraid that this is going to wipe away some of my coverage, the very little coverage that there was from the foundation. That worked beautifully, and yes, I'm aware you can see a lot of my skin through, but that's just because I got very little coverage with this to start with, but that blended out beautifully. It's very dry. It looks very dry on the face. There is weird sort of lines where the cream blush, although it looks nice and pretty, it has basically created a line where the sort of foundation blush, and there's nothing underneath the blush pretty much. Everything's just blended away. Let's try and see if it actually manages to give this a matte finish. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight, and this is hella metallic. I think I'm going to try this one. This is the tiniest of the circle ones. I'm contemplating whether or not to try one of these, but I think that's just going to literally make it look like it is a stripe on my face. I know you need very little, but I've pretty much added a lot in that brush. And that did nothing. Let's scoop up the rest, and this is a full drop, which is probably enough to cover my entire face if I'm using it normally. I don't know. I think this is going to be a fail video. Like, I can see where it's meant to be glowing, but it's not actually glowing. It's sort of just a lot of the product has sunk into this. And there's a tiny bit of glow there, but it just doesn't look good. Let's try to do the other side with a different brush, just out of curiosity, and I'm gonna do that. There you can actually see. So I'm gonna take the second one, sort of use it as a paintbrush. And that actually works much better. Who would have guessed? Still weird, yes, but much better. I tried to blend out the highlight on this side and it went better than on this side because this side basically blended away. But I don't like it still because it definitely took away the blush, it took away coverage. I'm going to put concealer under my eyes and I'm going to use one of the brushes and see if I can be able to bake underneath my eyes, because that's something that I tend to do sometimes, so I'll be right back. So the powder I'm going to be using is my Kix Translucent Loose Powder, and just tip some into the cap. The question now is, which brush do we try? I'm actually going to do the baby one, which I tried for highlighter and failed miserably. And tap out the creases, load the brush up. I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, so now I have powder everywhere. But I mean, it worked. Maybe not for baking, but it definitely set my under eyes. I then want to try this one for my eyes. This is labelled as an eyeshadow brush. My question is on whose eyes, because this could maybe work if I wanted to smudge liner on my lash line. Don't really see myself using this for anything. I'm gonna try it unless I have a smaller one. I'm gonna try it in my cream shadow. Just something I apply all over my eyes whenever I wear eyeshadow. Let's see if I can find a way to make this humongous brush work. I mean, that was quick and actually kind of decent. Yes, I sound surprised. I've been sitting for like an hour trying to make these dang products work. Out of 10 so far, I have 2. I want to try one of these big one. This is the second biggest, I think, with the powder, just to see if it works, because so far they work a lot better with powders than they do with creams. So I'm gonna try this with my NYX No Filter powder. That looks freaking flawless. And it feels flawless. That's amazing. So that is the end of this video, and honestly I would not recommend this set. Yes, there were a couple of brushes that I found that worked in the end. I have a little set here. The lip brush worked. I'm not going to use it as a lip brush. I'm probably going to use this. I'm probably going to use this one instead of this one for like a base on the eyes, because this is a bit too big, I find. They both work, but they're not going to be products that I reach for. These ones I'm going to reach for, I think, a bit more. I have this one which I actually loved for my eyebrows. It worked really well. This tiny one is amazing for highlighter. Then I have these ones right here, and this is great for applying contour or bronzer, and it really blends well as long as it's powder on top of powder. This one right here I used for blush, worked amazingly for that as well, and this one I absolutely love for powder. None of them worked particularly great with cream products. These 3 right here are sort of the sins. I hated this for foundation. It gave me a lot less coverage than what I can even get with my hands, and it just soaked up everything. I can't, you know, get an even look on the face. It's patchy, it's streaky, it's just not good. And then these 2 were just pointless. I can only see myself ever using these as using something to smudge lipstick, or maybe apply a little something on the eyes. But honestly, for concealer, these were shit. I'm not going to get my money's worth out of these brushes, even though I found that the majority of them I can make work. I'm going to continue using them, but mostly just for I look ridiculous in the viewfinder right now. If you can take me seriously, congratulations. I'm going to continue using them, mainly the one I liked for powder, because that one gave me a lot of coverage with the powder and it just gave a really flawless finish. And I might use the one for highlighter, bronzer and blush, but realistically I'm not really going to reach for these over my other brushes. If you have an Europris near you, you see these, don't pick them up. They are not worth the money. Thanks so much for watching this absolute fail of a video. If you got some sort of entertainment from this, then do give me a thumbs up down below. I look like a clown. I feel ridiculous. I'm now going to wash my face, take a shower. Thanks for watching. Bye.